Welcome to Oceanside Yoga for a 40-minute deep stretch for runners post-run. Here we target all the key runner's muscles, and with longer hold times, we can really deepen the stretch. If you have less time, you can go at your own pace and take it down to whatever time you need. Studies show that holding stretches from 90 to 120 seconds is the ideal amount of time to allow your muscles to fully release. You do whatever is right for you. To support yourself in this practice, I recommend using a small towel for your knees, a strap to reach your foot, and a yoga block or something of like size. Take a deep breath and let's get ready to stretch. We will begin in child's pose. So coming down to the ground on our knees, we'll send our knees out to the side and we'll reach down long with our spine. When your spine is nice and long, you can relax into the posture. This will stretch both your quads and your spine. This is a great place to take a couple deep breaths, as it is a wonderful resting pose. And you're welcome to come back here anytime you need. Let's activate this child's pose by turning it into a side stretch. So I'm going to walk my hands over to the left side of my mat, placing my left hand down and placing my right hand on top of the left. That opens up the right side of my body. I'll take a big deep breath into my ribs. Keep your hips grounded so that the stretch is pulling out of your hips and out of your lower back into your side. And we'll move over to the other side. Now I'm going to walk my hands one after the other over to the right side of my mat. Right hand down, left hand on top, hips grounded, and breathe deep into your left ribs. When you're ready, we can bring ourselves back out and we'll move to a cat and cow to release your spine, your back, and your shoulders. So coming up to a tabletop position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Really slow off your breath. Remember, you just put in all of that work. We're going to flow through our spine. So as we inhale, we'll lift our tailbone, drop our belly, open our chest, and look up. And as we exhale, we'll curve through our tailbone, lift through our belly button and our shoulders, drop our head. Continue through this movement and feel free to pause anywhere that it feels good for you. We're also practicing listening to our body so that we can give it what it needs to feel okay. We will do one more of each and meet back at the center. When you're ready, we'll move on to one of my favorite foot stretches that will also stretch your hamstrings and your calves. So we're going to pick one of our feet. I'm going to pick my right foot, popping up on the toes, and I'm going to slide that foot back, and I'm going to leave my toes a little bit more forward than my heel. And you can adjust this as many times as you need. But we're going to rock back, and as we do, we're pressing into our toes, and it gives a nice deep stretch at the bottom of our foot and the back of our leg. So we're going to come in and out of this. We're going to rock forward, press back. And if you need more of a stretch, bring your toes closer to you so you can press back further with your heel. And we'll rock a few times here. When you're ready, we can set up for the other side. So I'm going to bring my right knee back in. Now we can pop up on our left toes, sliding that foot back. Feel free to adjust your toes as many times as you need. And when you're ready, we'll press back into the heel and rock forward. Continue on with that motion. Few more rocks, and we will move on. Now I'll bring my left knee in to meet my right, and I'm going to press up my hips into a downward dog. The downward dog is going to open up your chest, your back, your calves, your hamstrings, a little bit of everything. Hips come up, and you can do this with bent knees if you'd like to stretch more in your back, or for the back of your legs. We'll keep them straight and gently push the heels down towards the ground. You can rock a little bit in your toes here, gently coming up and pressing our heels down. Gives us a nice stretch on the back of our legs. You can also take turns bending the knees, straightening the other leg, pressing into the straight leg to deepen the stretch on that side. So let's go back and forth a couple of times. The downward dog is also a good resting pose. You're welcome to come back here whenever you want. It's also a really good reset anytime you've done a lot of work on your legs. Let's come back to center, straightening both legs, and we'll continue on. I'm going to bring my left foot to support me as I point my right toes high up into the sky. I'm going to bring that leg into my chest. You can also grab your foot if you'd like. And we're going to stamp it down between our hands. We're going to spend some time in a high lunge, which opens up our hip flexors, our quads, our hamstrings, and our calves. Now we're going to stay up high for a little bit here. Let's bring, so my right knee is up. I'm going to bring my right elbow on the inside of my leg. Try to have your knee over your ankle. And if you're too far forward, walk back a little bit with your back leg. Now you can stay up high here if you'd like, or again, keeping the knee lifted, we can try to come down to our forearms, whatever feels right for you. And if you'd like to start up higher and work your way down, that's perfectly great. The longer you sit in it, the more time you have to release, and you can work your way down all at your own speed. For now, I'll bring myself back up and we'll move into a low lunge. So a low lunge, we'll drop our back knee, and the same, you can have your arm on the inside of your leg, you can stay up on your hands or go down to your forearms. The low lunge is great for our hip flexors and our quads. And remember, the longer you sit in the posture, the more work with your flexibility and release that it'll create. So you pick your favorite postures, sit in them for a little bit longer, make it all your own. Use your breath wherever you feel tension in your body. Take a big, deep inhale and send that air to the place that feels tension. It creates some space, and then as you exhale, you can sink into the space you have created. When you're ready, we can press ourselves back up. I'm going to send my hand back to the outside of my leg. I'm going to scoot in my back knee just slightly, and we're going to move back into a half split. So depending on how far you have your front foot away from your body, it changes the stretch a little bit. So you can have it more forward, sit back. You can bring it back towards you and sit back. You play around with that, see what feels good for you. But this will give us a nice stretch all the way up the back of our leg, into our glutes, and even into our lower backs. If you'd like more, you can grab for your toes and gently pull them back to add a foot stretch. In every posture, try to remind yourself to come back to your breath. We use the breath as a tool to show that even though we are feeling tension, we can still be safe. And we can work our way through almost anything that happens to us. Let's release the foot. Very slowly walk ourselves back up to that low lunge. Now, I'm going to grab two props to support us in this posture. You can do whatever is right for you. So I'm going to bring a towel underneath my knee to support me and a strap to reach my foot if I need it. So I'm going to bring my left knee to the towel as my right knee comes back up into that low lunge. Now, I'm going to sit up with my upper body, and I'm bringing up my left foot towards my hand. I'm going to give it a nice squeeze. This really lights up the quads. If you need a little extra support and help reaching your toes, you can use a strap, a towel, a belt, anything you want. And you can pull it towards you as far as you want to go. You decide how deep you want this stretch to be. If you need more support, you can also have your hand down on the ground or even resting on a side table or a couch, whatever feels comfortable for you. We will release, letting our foot come down, bringing both knees together. And we're going to start over this set on the other side. I'm going to take my support off to the side, and we're going to press ourselves back up into that downward dog. Do a nice reset on the back of both of our legs. Feel free to walk out your feet if you'd like again. And when you're ready, we'll move over to the left side. So now my right foot is supporting me. My left toes are going to point high into the sky, crunching that leg into the chest, and you can place it down in between your hands. So we're going to do that high lunge first. Now I'm bringing my left elbow on the inside of my left leg. You can stay up like this if you'd like, or with knee up, you can bring your forearms down to the ground. Remember also that our bodies are naturally uneven. One side is going to be easier than the other, and that's perfectly natural. Maybe you just take an extra minute in the harder side. Give it a little bit more time to release. But just know that every body is going to be imperfect this way, and you can meet yourself exactly where you are. Remember your big deep breaths. Use them whenever you can to help your body to release. Whenever you're ready, we can bring ourselves down to that low lunge. So knee comes down to the ground. If you need more, you can send your knee further away from your body. And again, you can stay up on your hands if this is comfortable for you, or we can make our way down to the forearms if you would like. When you're ready, we can slowly press ourselves back out, and we'll get ready for that half split. So I'm going to bring in my back knee just slightly, straightening my front left leg, sitting back towards the right leg, lifting those left toes. Feel free to adjust here as many times as you need until you get that nice long stretch up the back of your leg. You can keep your hands supporting you, or you can reach out one hand, grabbing for your toes, gently pulling back and adding in that foot stretch. When you're ready, we can release our toes, slowly walk ourselves back up to that low lunge. Now, if you're ready, we can grab our supports again. So my left leg is coming forward, my right knee comes down to the blanket. Reset the front of your body. That feels good. We can lift up that back leg, reaching for our foot. Hand can be supported on the ground, on your knee. And if you'd like some help reaching your foot, you can grab that strap, another towel, a belt, and pull it in as far as you'd like. Feel that really nice quad stretch. A few more moments. When you're ready, we can release our hand. Bring both knees back to center. And we can take our supports, put them off to the side. Now for our next hip opener, I am going to grab a block to help support me. You can grab one if you like. You can also use a rolled up blanket that's a little bit thicker so it can give you a little bit more support. You can decide whether or not you want that. So I'm going to bring myself up to a plank. Hands in front of me, feet behind, and I'm going to move to pigeon. So with pigeon, I'm bringing up my right knee to meet my right wrist and my right ankle to meet my left wrist. And I'm sitting back with my knee. If I need more, I can scoot my knee back more. And we're going to sit here for a while. So this one's really good for your glutes, for your IT band, for your hip flexors, and also stretches nicely in the lower back. Can be very intense, so make it as comfortable as you can and sink in. So this block, what I would do with both hips faced forward, if there's that space under my body, I can take the block and put it in that space. So I have something to sit on. And now my hips can release a little bit more without the pressure of holding me up. So you're welcome to do that if you'd like. You can stay up on your hands if that feels comfortable for you. Or if you'd like, we can come down to our forearms or down to your face, whatever feels good for you. This is a stretch that I recommend sitting in for as long as you possibly can. The longer, the better. Today, we're going to stay in about 30 seconds, and we'll practice our deep breathing here. So usually our hip sockets are just shaking, all the muscles working as hard as they can to hold on. And it's kind of a mental game. You talk to yourself and you give all those muscles permission to release, for your bones to curve within the socket. How much can you let go? We're going to move over to showing the other side. While you're at home, please sit here for as long as you'd like. Going to come back up to tabletop, unwinding that leg, and then just do a couple of hip circles just to release any tension you feel before we move on. Okay, we'll move to the other side. So I'm coming back to plank. And now I'm bringing up my left leg. So left knee to left wrist, left ankle to right wrist. Send back your knee as far as you want to go. Hips will stay centered and facing forward. If you want to take that block and sit it underneath you to hold you up, it's actually really nice. I feel like it makes it easier to lean forward. You're welcome to stay there if you'd like. Or you can come all the way down to your forearms, your face. And we'll give our bodies permission to sink in. Slowly begin to bring ourselves out. Again, feel free to sit for as long as you can if you're at home. Going to unwind that knee back to tabletop. And we'll do a couple hip circles before moving on. Okay, it's time to cool down. So we're going to sit on back, legs in front of us, out straight, toes up, and we're going to go into a forward fold. Now, to make this easier on your body, let's lift up the flesh off of our bottoms and kind of bring it backwards so that our actual sit bones are touching the ground. Then we don't have to curve over as far to get towards our legs. Now, we are stretching out the back of our legs today, so keeping your legs straight will give you the nice stretch you need at the back of your legs and your lower back. But if it's too much for you or if it's too intense, feel free to bring up your knees and you can fold forward that way. You can also take a blanket and stick it under your knees to give you a little bit more support if you want to keep them bent. And now whenever we fold, we want to hinge first from our hips. And when the hips can't go anymore, then we can bring in the spine. You can have your hands on your calves, next to your legs. You can even grab for your toes, pulling them back towards you. Again, making it a little bit more of a foot stretch and increasing the intensity. Now we're going to sink in and relax. Come back to your breath as often as you can remember. Now this is such a simple posture, but whenever I do it and I hold it for an extended period of time, even a minute or two, I always feel it the next day, head to toe. And I find it so interesting that you don't have to do anything extreme to heal yourself. You pick your favorite posture or two, and you sit in it for as long as you'd like, and you get to really reap a lot of benefits. So give it a shot. Just a few more moments. Whenever you're ready, we can pick ourselves back up. Wonderful. Okay, let's move on with this cool down. I'm going to bring both of my feet together, knees apart, into our butterfly. So this is doing a lot of things. It's working on our inner thigh, our groin, our hip abductors, as well as our quads. And if you add in a fold, it can also stretch your lower back. So you can play with your feet. You can have them further apart if that feels more comfortable for you, or you can have them in closer to your body. Feel free to adjust as many times as you need. It also changes the stretch a little bit, so you can decide which one is right for you. And now you can stay up tall here if this feels okay for you, if this feels like it's enough, and you're getting the nice stretch in your mid-body. If you'd like more, and want to make this a little bit of a resting pose also, we can reach our hands forward, and we can stop wherever it feels nice. You can be down on your forearms, even down on your face. You can even use a block if you'd like, and bring it down to rest your forehead. Get as comfortable as you possibly can. You deserve it after all of the work that you've put in. When you're ready, we can press ourselves back up, and using your hands as support, we can pick up our knees and bring them back together. Wonderful. Our last stretch today is going to be a figure 4 hip stretch. So I'm going to take my left foot down to support me with my knee up. Then I'm going to grab my right ankle and cross it over my left knee. Now this can be done with your hands behind you, supporting you. You can also use your right hand and press away your right knee if you want a little bit more. This stretches your glutes, your piriformis, as well as your hips. And then we're also going to turn it into a little twist. So one pose that helps us in so many places. Let's bring some movement and some mobility to this stretch. So hands coming back to support me. I'm going to start dropping the legs side to side. So my left leg is driving this. As I drop my knee side to side, it's lifting my ankle and changing the stretch. So we'll drop it side to side a couple of times. And this does not have to be a big movement. Even the littlest bit is still working on our mobility. So you don't have to push yourself any further than what you feel comfortable with. Now, the next time that I cross my right leg over my body, I'm going to stamp my right foot down to the ground. So it's going to pull the stretch into my lower back, and I'll sit up nice and tall. You can stay here if you'd like, enjoying that stretch, or you can take your left arm, wrap it around that right leg, and pull yourself in. That's going to deepen the stretch here at the side of your hip. And then if you'd like to add a twist, you can take your right hand, reaching it behind you, and gently pull open your upper body. When you're ready, we can undo our twist, release our arm, bring back up our legs, and we'll get ready for the other side. So now I'm going to take my right foot, stamping it down with my right knee up. I'll grab my left ankle, crossing it over my right knee. Bring your hand back to support you. And I'm going to take my left hand and press away my left knee to deepen that stretch. When you're ready, we can start rocking back and forth. So both hands are now supporting me, and I'm going to drop my right knee from side to side, bringing my left foot with it. The next time that you cross your left leg over your body, we're going to let our left foot come all the way down to the ground, and we'll have to slightly sit up. Now we can keep it there, or take our right arm, wrapping it around our left leg, and pull ourselves in tight. If you'd like a little bit more, you can reach now your left arm behind you and gently turn open your upper body. When you're ready, you can unwind, bringing both feet back together, and relax. Thank you for joining me for this deep runner's stretch. I hope you found the release that you were looking for. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel Anna K Wellness for more Oceanside stretching and meditation.